Hello and welcome back to Token Watch. Today we are taking a look at Swarm markets. Swarm is essentially a DeFi protocol built on top of Ethereum, powered by a balancer, which is similar to a Uniswap. Um, and instead of reinventing the wheel, they went ahead and they did something very similar. Nothing essentially too new. It's going to have obviously a bunch of different things. Their first venture is this AMM platform, so you can see the kind of familiar swap UI. But they went out and in Germany there's a regulatory body called BaFin, BAFIN, and they went with BaFin, with the regulators there, and they walked step by step to make sure that every piece of this is compliant. And the idea here is that you can bring outside securities and all these new or old, financial instruments and tools and assets and bring them onto the blockchain and allow kind of traders to basically inject, to tokenize that asset and then to swap it with similar with tokens that we're familiar with on the Ethereum chain. They said they are looking to potentially do multi-chain work. I think let me just see if I put it on this one. Yeah, so if you go here, there's a YouTube video actually. Why didn't it lead me to it? Here it is. Make sure it's not playing. Where the CEO here, Philip.
Welcome back, everybody.
Piper.
Our next
it drives
speaker.
part of this curve.
Philip Piper, the CEO, broke down essentially what they're doing. Again, they had something before this called Swarm, just Swarm Network, which was attempting to basically be let me go to the about. A Ethereum competitor, providing its own utility token with the SRC20 protocol. But I think they kind of decided to scrap that. And this new attempt is basically, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's just build something that exists that people clearly want and make sure that it's fully compliant. And the reason I think this is very exciting is, one, it launched quite recently. I believe it launched on August 2nd, so 7 days ago. It's up, quite a bit. It launched at just above 29 cents, so 30 cents, let's say. Went above $1 yesterday and is sitting currently around 95 cents. So it's had a decent run. Market cap sits at 30 million. And so there's a couple things that lead me to believe that this is, an exciting opportunity. I think one, just the pressure of regulation right now and the kind of conversation that's happening here in the U.S. I think people are going to want to look for things that are compliant or resistant to these regulations that are coming in, and this is some good foresight on these guys' side in terms of going out and getting all that licensing done beforehand, and then launching their AMM platform, which is set to launch pretty soon here, I think. Let's see if they have a date. I think we might find it later in the roadmap, but essentially, yeah, this is their first play, is this, this AMM product, and then obviously they're going to have a couple different things that they want to release as well. But essentially, what they're doing is, like I said, they're allowing traditional markets to kind of integrate and mingle and access, the blockchain and all this money that's being pushed through crypto. So, to my knowledge, you have something like a mortgage or a bond, or even like a private equity. An investment in a startup, whatever it is, as long as you can tokenize it, and you go through these steps. And I think one of the things that we're going to have to look out for is, what does compliance mean, right? So it's somewhere on here. I'll have to find it, but within this swap protocol, here it is: Passport Connect. Connect and qualify directly with your EU bank account or your YOT ID. I'm not sure what that is, but so this is the kind of the trade-off. So obviously you get access to all these assets and all this money can flow, which for a lot of people is worth basically the sacrifice of deciding to give up your anonymous ID online. Which for someone like me who's not doing anything like shady, like I have no problem with this. Again, if this is a market, or there's liquidity pools, or there's money on here that's well, if there's more money on here just because it's compliant and people feel safer, and people who want to access the blockchain but don't want to deal with all the the shady stuff that's going on, or these dexes or these wallets that have no kind of ID behind it, and this looks appealing to them, then obviously that naturally will just drive people towards this. It'll keep, this isn't a market swallower in terms of, are you going to get everyone who's willing to connect their passport? Probably not. But for the people who want that assurance, and for traditional players who need to be compliant in order to get access to blockchain money, this is a really interesting way. So having this, this compliance kind of built in and integrated already right off the bat when it launches, it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens. I think there's a lot of another good thing I was going to say is that this isn't fully market dependent in terms of they don't only need this price right here. It won't only be dictated by people buying the token. Right now it is, because it's just like a hype thing, and no one's actually you can't actually use the AMM product, and you can't really, it's not a utility token at all. It's just hyping up for when this thing does launch. But the nice thing is that the value of the token and the market itself, it's two-sided, right? So right now the thing is, it's only people in crypto who can buy this token, through through Uniswap, through whatever you're using. But in the future, when the AMM does launch, you'll have money coming in from the kind of non-blockchain being brought over into the blockchain. All of these assets, securities, all this institutional money that will hopefully pour in and just raise the floor of the whole, raise the market cap for Swarm. At the same time of people buying the token just to hold the token, just to stake the token. I'm sure there will be liquidity and yield farming and loans and all that stuff as well, like most traditional DeFi protocols. But that's the nice thing, is that it's kind of two-sided, and that it won't just be people within DeFi only being able to money that is in crypto can be injected into this and make it grow. It's also, it has this extra kind of pipe that leads to kind of traditional markets that will hopefully be injected into this and raise the price. So an exciting thing to look at. Interested to see where it's going to go. The team is also pretty well doxed. They've spoken at a bunch of different conferences. They've been in this space for a while with Swarm, which I don't think is going anywhere. But again, it's just the fact that failure is still a learning kind of experience. So hopefully they took the things that they got from that and they injected into this. The team is Philip, Piper, Peeper, Timo Leahy's, who I watched an interview with him on CNBC the other day, and the rest of the team. It seems pretty well docked. So exciting to see where this goes. Again, this is still early days for this thing. Excited to see if this thing can push up near 100 million in terms of value. But looking forward to kind of learning more about it, and we'll keep you updated as things progress.